Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing all of my Sephora holiday savings event recommendations. It is that time again. I'm sure many of you are starting to think about the sale, what you plan to purchase. Maybe you're editing your wish list, shopping cart. 1 week from today, my fellow Rougies can begin to shop with our 20% off discount. The code this time around is YAYHOLIDAY, all caps. I will make sure the code, all of the details, dates, everything you need to know about the sale will of course be down below in the description box. As a rule of thumb, I like to approach these sales kind of the same way. I look for three main categories. The first, restocks, and that's going to be huge for me this time around. These are the items that you are constantly going through throughout the year. You don't want to be without them. Think foundations, mascara, cleanser, skincare. I have a lot of hair care products that are empty, unfortunately. The second category, the big ticket items, the exciting pieces, the holiday makeup, all of the new sparkly exciting stuff that you've been holding off on because you wanted to get a discount. So now is the perfect time. Of course, holiday makeup I mentioned, but also tools, skincare tools, hair care tools, those items that are a bit pricey, and it certainly helps to save 15, 20, 10% off, whatever your discount is. And then the third category, because it's the holiday savings event, gift giving. Of course, if you are well organized and you're starting to put together your gift list this year, now is of course the time to take advantage. If you have a huge family, a big group of girlfriends or coworkers, and you usually shop for each other, it still might be a little bit early. I'm kind of down the middle. I like to get the majority of my holiday shopping done well in advance, but then it's sort of inevitable that you have those last minute things that you have to pick up. But it's not like this is going to be the last sale. We will have tons of promotions going on from the department stores, of course, Black Friday shopping, all of those deals and discounts. But take advantage while you can. This is my personal favorite sale of the year. I look forward to shopping it every year because, like many of you, I want my Sephora points. So let's dive into the products. I'm going to go through each one pretty quickly because I don't think there will be a lot of questions or surprises here. It's basically a huge compilation of all of my favorite things. And I've organized everything by category, and I limited myself to just a few pieces per category. That way it wouldn't become too overwhelming. And I will also have everything categorized down in the description box. But I'm going to begin with my favorite large eyeshadow palettes. And if you've been here a while, you know that historically I haven't really been big into larger palettes. Really last year, I think, was the first year I started purchasing them, but I picked up a few that I really love, including this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the new Instant Eye Palette, Smoky Eyes Are Forever. And I also did my best to stick with new-ish items. Newer things. Some of these are new to me and some of them are old, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is definitely new. And I think it is beautiful. I love the large eyeshadow palettes from Charlotte Tilbury versus the quads. I think it is such a better value. $75 for 12 eyeshadows versus I think it's $53 for the quad. So such a better buy. One of my complaints about larger palettes is that they're just big and bulky, and they're beautiful to look at, but if something's kind of big and chunky, I'm going to fit it in a drawer somewhere, a little nook or cranny, and I'm not really going to be tempted to pull it out because it'll just be a mess, complicated. Even that extra millisecond that it takes to get the palette out of the drawer, it's too long to add to my makeup routine sometimes. But these are so slim. I think it is just the perfect shape and size. So I have 3 of these larger palettes, and they just sit right in the front of my top drawer here. So they're incredibly convenient. They're so easy to pull out, and because you have 12 eyeshadows inside, they're so complete. You can create multiple looks using just one palette. I think they are so user-friendly. Charlotte does a great job laying out her palette so that you open it up, and it's kind of intuitive. I mean, if you don't want to be creative and you just kind of want to do your makeup in autopilot mode, you have like your soften, smoke, pop, prime, enhance, smoke. I knew it was something like that. So she has a little system for you. But then of course, if you have the time and you want to take the time, you can create some really incredible looks and just kind of go all over the place. I love the quality of these palettes. Amazing. Her mattes are beautiful. Her metallics are stunning. They're really creamy. Not a ton of fallout, so they perform really well, and I think the color story is very wearable. I love this palette. I think this is a little bit cooler toned overall than the Pillow Talk palette that I also really love. I think this will be perfect for holiday parties, for weddings. Actually, I took this with me. I had a wedding in Tampa 2 weekends ago, and this is what I took, and I did my makeup. I actually helped a couple of the girls that were in the wedding party with me. I did their makeup using this palette. So just a beautiful palette overall. I love the black exterior packaging. Cannot say enough great things about this eyeshadow palette. Just one of the best purchases I made this year. Another large eye palette that I have zero regrets purchasing is the Retro palette from Natasha Denona. I didn't have a larger palette of this color story, so it was new and different for me. I really like the Natasha Denona formula. The Glam palette is still my favorite, but this is a close second. I think it's just very flattering. I love these tones. I don't think they're too pink, too red on the eye. Again, very sophisticated, user-friendly, easy to pull out, and whenever I do my makeup using this palette, I always love the way it turns out. I also picked up the Zendo palette earlier in the summer. Very beautiful, fun to play around with. It's a little bit more vibrant and colorful, but I just don't really grab it that often. So as much as it's pretty, it was kind of a waste, unfortunately. I mean, there are only so many palettes you can really use in a year. This is another one, zero regrets. This is the new Utopian Dream palette from Pat McGrath Labs. Now this, I think, is my favorite Pat McGrath Labs palette. And it's so colorful and sparkly and not really wearable and user-friendly. It's kind of a party palette, but it's just beautiful. It's so much fun. Love the makeup looks that I've created using this palette. And if you stay in this quadrant right over here, it can be a little bit more wearable. But this is going to be perfect for evenings, date nights, holiday parties. I cannot wait to play around in these for the holidays, New Year's Eve. If you don't have a huge collection of palettes and you're looking for something that's really special, like your go-to dramatic girls' night palette, this would be perfect. I absolutely love the shades inside. You get huge pans. I know it is a bit pricier, but with the discount, with the huge amount of eyeshadow you get in this palette, I think it's just one of the best buys you can make. And my last eyeshadow pick is a bit controversial, unfortunately. I do my best to avoid controversy, you know, but tonight we are just going to stare it in the face because I can't help myself. I really like this Gucci eyeshadow palette. Many of you, I'm sure, are clicking away, but it's really nice. I think the packaging is beautiful, but packaging aside, I think the shadows inside perform really well. I haven't lived up to my promise. I only did the one look during my initial review, but since then, I've played around with this palette on my own. I've created looks using these colors down here. Beautiful, really easy to use. In fact, just the other day, I didn't have a lot of time and I was trying to get ready for an event and I was just running late. It was my fault. But I thought, what eyeshadow can I wear? Because I don't really have a lot of time. I already have my face makeup done. I can't really be messing around with fallout. And I thought, you know what? These are the moments that I need to call on my trusted products. I know that this palette doesn't have a lot of fallout. Let me just see if I can make it work. And it was perfect. I think I went in with this color right here. I did something like very easy and fast, but it was beautiful for a dinner over at a friend's house. So I really like this palette. I've used it several times off camera and every time I'm really happy with my makeup. I think the formula blends really nicely. This shade right here is still pretty disappointing. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I just really like everything else. Now, I did hear from a lot of people who just don't like this color story, in which case, definitely skip it. But I really like the shades, and this packaging is unreal. This is what Gucci makeup dreams are made out of. I think it is stunning. It looks very like vintage, something your grandmother would pass down to you. It feels very heavy, very weighted. So it's not like it's a cheap plastic floral compact. No. That's one of the reasons why I purchased this, because I want to display it. It's beautiful. It's like a little decor piece. And then the pan inside does come out. So you can use it as a jewelry tray or you can put something else in there. From what I understand, they are going to come out with refills. I don't know if it will be just this palette, the Floral 01, or if they're going to launch new shades that you can pop in there. But either way, I just think it's a beautiful package, a beautiful palette. For somebody who loves luxury beauty, I think this would make a great gift. It's pricey at $150, so if you've had your eye on it, but you just didn't want to bite the bullet at that price tag, get your discount. I have two face palettes here that I highly recommend. The first one is from Hourglass. This is part of their holiday collection. They launched two. I was so tempted to purchase them both, but I only went with this one, and it's beautiful. I think it is my favorite Hourglass face palette that I have in my collection. I only have three, so I haven't collected them all, but this one to me is just the best color combination in general. And really, it comes down to the bronzer for me. Last year, it was nice. I think it was a little bit too red. I liked the bronzer in the quad palette a little bit better than the larger palette. This one is beautiful. I think the undertone suits me perfectly. And then I really like both of these blushes. This is sort of your daytime, your evening. You could mix them both together. But this is really gorgeous, has a touch of warmth to it. And then I love their setting powder. I kind of have to use it as a finishing powder. This second palette was very unexpected. This is the Nudegasm palette from the Super Nudes collection from Charlotte Tilbury. I did not purchase this collection. I kind of saw the launch, was tempted, interested. I thought it looked very beautiful, but I just have so much makeup. I thought, you know what? I'm going to skip it. But the makeup angels must have heard me because the team over at Charlotte Tilbury sent me the entire collection. I'm so grateful for them. I love this palette. I love it so much more than I expected to. Earlier in the year, I purchased her Instant Face in a palette, the eyes, face, everything all in one. Still really pretty. I like it. But now in hindsight, comparing the two and how much I've used them, I would have been better off skipping that and picking this up. I've gotten so much use out of this. This peachy shade right here is beautiful. You could use that as a blush or a blush topper, and then this creamy highlight right here is gorgeous as a highlighter. I took this with me to Tulum and I used this every single day on face and eyes. My favorite daily sunscreen is hands down the Glow Screen from Supergoop. It has SPF 40. It has a very soft sheen to it. It looks beautiful underneath your makeup. Just gives your skin a healthy glow. I also have the body version, and I keep it in my purse because you just never know when you're going to find yourself outside exposed to the sun for an extended period of time. But I use this every single day as a primer any day that I'm leaving the house. If I know I'm just going to be stuck inside all day, if it's raining and I just have an editing day, then no, I will skip the sunscreen. But on days that I'm leaving, this is what I use every single time. I think I've probably gone through several tubes of this and I have backups already, so it's just one of those things that I never like to be without it. It looks incredible. It feels amazing. It's formulated for the face, so I don't feel like it's sticky, heavy. It doesn't have a bad fragrance to it. That's one of those factors that I think can turn people off wearing their sunscreen on a daily basis. If it's heavy, sticky, clogs your pores, if it breaks you out and it stinks, chances are you're not going to use it. And if you don't like glow, like if you have really oily skin or you just prefer a more matte finish, they also have a matte screen. They have just a CC cream with SPF 50. They have so many different versions of this that you will find something that suits you. I only have one product from each category. Like I said, I tried to minimize so it wouldn't become too overwhelming, but I think when it comes to complexion products, you kind of know what works for you. It's very personal. So these are going to be your restock items, the things that you love, you're constantly using up. But this is a new combination that I recently tried in my clean beauty video, and I fell in love. I used this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint with SPF 40. It also has niacinamide, squalene, and hyaluronic acid. This looked really nice. I did a thin layer all over the face, and then I did a little spot coverage with this Westman Atelier foundation stick. This I purchased, I think, during the last Sephora savings event, and the first few times I used it, I used way too much. You really only need a small amount. But this combination, mind-blowing. I loved my makeup that day, and it wasn't just because I was glowing thinking, ooh, clean beauty, look at me. No, the actual makeup look turned out so incredible, and I did not expect to like it as much as I did. A lot of times when I play around with new products, new combinations, it's my least favorite makeup look, but I plan to recreate everything and put all of those products together again. Lately, I've been rotating a lot between my Hourglass concealer and my Chanel, but if I had to choose one concealer for life and I could only use that one, I would go with the Pat McGrath Labs. I just really like this concealer. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Concealer. It's the perfect texture. It's a little bit creamy, but it's not too creamy. It doesn't look crepey or dry, so it just has a really nice finish. It never creases on me, and it has incredible coverage. So I love this. This is a new bottle, shade L1. I've gone through a full tube of this, and yeah, what can I say? I never want to be without it. I highly doubt this is new, but it was new for me this year, and I love it. The Huda Beauty Setting Powder. This is the shade Banana Bread. It's our Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. It just does the trick. It doesn't matter how much of this stuff I layer on my face. I feel like I can't see it, which is pretty good. So it's perfect. It's so light, but it definitely mattifies. It doesn't have any glow to it, which I like, but it's not harsh. It doesn't look dry. I feel like I could bake if I wanted to and it would just disappear into the skin, but I generally go in with just a small amount of this powder, and it seems to be never ending. I've used this so much. I've been using this almost on a daily basis, and I've barely scratched the surface. So I definitely will not need to restock this for probably another year. I think it is a beautiful setting powder. I've been on a cream makeup kick lately, so I pulled all of these items from the top drawer. These are things that I use every single day. If I'm not filming, testing something new, this is my go-to routine. So I have the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer. I have shade Medium, and I will need to restock this soon because, as you can see, I've hit pan and I will finish this before the end of the year. It is just the perfect shade, perfect texture, and it's so easy to use. I find this to be very fast and efficient in the mornings, and I love the way it looks. A very natural looking bronzer. I have a couple favorite cream blushes, but if I had to choose one, it would be this new Hourglass, the Vanish. I have shade Sacred. It's kind of that perfect flush pink. Very beautiful. They're so creamy, very pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. But I just love the shade. I love how easy this is to use, and I like the fact that it's not a glossy or balmy texture. I almost thought about throwing in the Rare Beauty. I really like the Rare Beauty cream blush as well. But sometimes a cream blush, it's almost, I don't know even how to describe it. I guess balm. It almost looks sheer with a hint of color. Sometimes that can disrupt the makeup, and I feel like I need to layer more and more to build up the color to be where I want it to be. That's not the case with this. So I just find that this is easier to use, huge impact with just a tiny amount of product, and the shade range is beautiful. The Westman Atelier Super Loaded Highlighter is incredible, and it's gonna hurt because it's $75, and I think with the discount it comes out to maybe $60. It's still pricey, but it is just the most beautiful highlighter I have ever seen. Hands down my favorite cream highlighter, but it's up there with just the best highlighters in my collection. It comes in this really beautiful weighted, very heavy matte black compact. It looks and feels luxurious. You have the little faux leather pouch. It's a clean beauty product, but the actual highlighter is amazing. It gives the skin the most beautiful angelic glow. I have the Peau de Rosé, and I've never looked back. I picked this up also the last time during the Sephora savings event, and I did not want to like it, but I fell in love with it. It melts with the warmth of your fingers, and it does not accentuate any texture on the skin. It's just beautiful. Here, I'm going to add a little bit more to my cheeks, just so you can see. It's foolproof. Angelic, ethereal, bridal, sugar plum fairy in the Nutcracker. It's just perfection. If you're in the market for a new brow gel, I highly recommend this Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, the best clear brow gel I have ever tried. It truly freezes your brows in place. The hairs will not move all day. You can fluff them up, and once it dries, that's it. That's the shape. So I absolutely love this. I think I already have a backup, so I don't need to get this, but I am going to be restocking a few other eye products. Mascara I need. I love the Gucci, I love the Pillow Talk mascara, and I also need to restock my Anastasia Brow Freeze. Skincare is so personal. Again, this is another great restock category, but I have a couple pieces here that I really like. Several empties, actually. So this is the Saturday Skin Carrot and Niacinamide Moisturizing Cream. I did a campaign with them a couple months ago, but I used up the entire moisturizer and I really liked it. Has vitamin C, all sorts of antioxidants from the carrots. It felt really great. I used this daily underneath my makeup and I loved it. I also went through my Josie Marin Whipped Argan Oil Face Butter. I had tried a sample of this that they sent in like a little discovery set, and I purchased this moisturizer actually during the last Sephora savings event. It's nice because it's fragrance free, but it feels a little bit heavy. So if you want something that's really light whipped, airy, more of like a water-based moisturizer, this would not be for you. If you have dry skin, highly recommend this. I live in Miami and I have combination skin, but I guess maybe I got used to it. I started using this in February when we were in Pennsylvania because it was so dry, and I absolutely fell in love, finished the entire jar. So both of those I highly recommend. I'm currently going between the Tata Harper. I have a La Mer open. Moisturizer is tough. I always like to use the entire thing once I open it, but I'm sent things sometimes that I always like to try. I also have the JLo with SPF 30. So I have a few that I'm rotating between, but I've started using the Tata Harper now, and I like it. It's really good. That or the La Mer. And then I also really like this JLo Beauty That Hit Single Gel Cream Cleanser. A lot of these I pulled out straight from the bathroom. So this came from my shower. It was leaking all over the place, but I think I fixed it. It doesn't strip the skin. It feels really creamy, and it just gets rid of everything. So it's kind of the perfect balancing cleanser. I'm so happy with that. A little bit goes such a long way. You only need a teeny tiny bit. You have to be careful when you pour it out because it's pretty thin. It's just the perfect texture, but then you get a nice silky lather, which I love. This also came from the shower. This is the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub with 10% AHA, safe for sensitive skin. My favorite body microdermabrasion scrub. It's just the best thing I discovered this year, and First Aid Beauty was really kind. They sent me over a few bottles, so I won't need to replace this just yet. I'm basically done with this one. There's a lot of air in here. But if the day ever comes that I finish all of them and I need to restock, I will. No questions asked, because it's just the best I've ever tried. And it does have the 10% AHA. It has, let's see, I know I've read this before, glycolic acid, lactic acid. It also has pumice microcrystals to slough off the dead skin, colloidal oatmeal to help soothe for sensitive skin. It smells awful. The smell is terrible. I'm sure they don't want to add fragrance because then maybe they can't say it's safe for sensitive skin, but if you can get past the smell, the actual grit is amazing. It's pretty tough. You can't really use this on the face, but definitely the neck, chest, all over the body, the back. I use this all over my entire body. It's so great in between sunless tans. If you sunless tan a lot, you know that phase after a couple days when you start to look like a leopard and you really need to exfoliate your body so you can do a fresh tan. Moving on now to hair care, I pulled out a couple of my favorite products. I didn't want to show you all of my restocks, or else the Sephora holiday savings event haul video I'm planning to do will be very boring. I'll just be showing you all of the things that I need to rebuy and then showing them to you again when I buy them. So these are a couple of my other favorites. This is the Olaplex Hair Perfector number 3. Repairs and strengthens. This is the treatment that everybody raves about. And I think they have the jumbo size, which would be a great value to pick up during the sale. Usually, I think it's only available in this size right here. This is the full size. But to get a larger bottle, that's the better way to go. I'm going to say this is $28. The larger bottle is maybe $58, but it's huge. I love using this treatment. This is a must-have, I'd say, for blondes, color-treated hair, just dry hair, heat-damaged hair. I also really like the Olaplex number 8. The hair mask pairs beautifully with the number 3 treatment. But another mask I would recommend is this Kerastase, the Blonde Absolute Mask. This came straight from the shower. It's pretty grimy. I'm not going to show you a close-up. I'll have to clean this, but I'm almost done, and I do have a backup. I really like this hair mask. It's incredible. It definitely boosts hydration, but I feel like there's so much more. Like if you don't really care about the number 3 treatment, I would do this mask. I feel like this has the protein builder, it has the hydration, it kind of does everything for your hair. A couple styling products here. The IGK products have become my favorite. I love this Good Behavior. This is the 4-in-1 prep spray. I also went through the mist, which is a really nice heat protector that you can mist on dry hair. This I'll spritz on before I blow dry. Another great leave-in conditioner is the Way in Byredo. So if you want something different that has a really nice scent that lingers for days, it has the Mojave Ghost scent. And it does last. When I spritz this in my hair, I smell Mojave Ghost until the next wash. It's pretty incredible because usually I feel like I can't really smell my hair products. This smells amazing, the Sol de Janeiro dry shampoo. That has a strong fragrance. Most everything else is pretty light. And then the last thing I have here, sad, I need to restock. This is the Antisocial Overnight Bond Building Dry Hair Mask. And I did a hair care video where I linked all of my favorite products. I might link that video down below in case you'd like to see the full lineup of things that I use. But this is kind of the finishing spray, texture spray, hairspray replacement. I avoid hairspray because I don't want anything that's going to dry out my hair. This is actually a dry mask, so you spritz it on. It helps to give you a little texture. I'm pretty desperate for a wash right now, but you can see I still have a little curl at the bottom. But this is nice because it's not going to dry out your hair. It's going to help bond build, but it's something that you can do in between washes. So I really like this, along with the Blonde Absolute Overnight Recovery Treatment. Those are 2 hair treatments that you can do without having to wash your hair again. I think that's important if you have really dry, damaged hair like I do. And the very last category I have to mention is gift sets. And I already did a dedicated video where I showcased all of the best gift sets available at Sephora. I scrolled through the entire website, I scoured, I added everything to cart that looked good. So in case you're interested in picking up a few pieces, I have all price points are represented. I will link that video down below. I would recommend checking that out if you're planning to take advantage of the sale for your gift giving. But these 2 I wanted to mention because I think they would make incredible gifts, but these are also pieces that I would just purchase for myself. So this first one is the Westman Atelier Clean Glow Trio Petite Sticks. There are 2 shades. I picked up the second, number 2. It comes with the Face Trace Contour Stick in Truffle, the Lit Up Highlighter Stick in Nectar, and Baby Cheeks Blush Stick in Dodo. They're little minis. I think it's $78 for the trio, but individually they're pretty pricey. I want to say the blush is maybe $58, the contour is maybe $58 or $68, and then the highlighter would be another $50 or $60. So to get a little trio, I think these are really great because you have a better chance of actually using them up. They're great for travel. It's just so convenient to throw in your purse. And it's still a really decent size. So I love this little trio. It comes in this perfect little box that you could easily wrap, throw a ribbon and bow on. This would make a great gift for anybody who loves luxury beauty, anybody who loves clean beauty. Highly recommend. I also recommend the full-size products, but I think if you're maybe looking to try the brand for the first time, why not get the little set? And then I love this little Dior set. This is the Beauty Ritual Blooming Bouquet. So it comes in this gorgeous Dior box. They also have a mascara set that's really cute. They just killed it with their holiday packaging this year. I think the sets in general are pretty safe. It's basically the same stuff we see every year from Dior. But I love this. This is really beautiful. throw a bow on that and stick it under the tree, and somebody is going to be very happy. So inside you have the little Mist Your box, blooming bouquet, excuse me. Open it up, and you have the little mini fragrance. You have a little full-size lip glow, and then you also get this rose hand cream. And I want to say this set is $98. If I have room, I will link all of my favorite sets, but if you would like to see them in person and see them unboxed, what's in everything, I would definitely check out that video. But hopefully you enjoyed today's recommendations. That completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face, down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.